Hello, guys. I hope you are tuning. I want to say something quick. Naona watu wachache wameingia hapo, and those who are following on YouTube, they probably waiting for me to speak and say something that I want to say. I'm not gonna take a lot of time. Nitazungumza tu kwa masaa machache, not masaa machache, few minutes, because there's something very important that I want to um, discuss about. And sorry, if I know maybe you really wanted to listen to some of my music, but I will not do that. I will just go straight on the point, what I want to discuss here. And as usual, I would love to um, mix languages so that everybody can hear what I'm saying. Um, well, what I'm going to discuss today is about paying the contractors, paying the employees. And this is a huge problem in Kenya. I can't stress enough. I haven't read the labor laws in Kenya. I've never read it. But I know there is a lot of things that are happening that are totally um, against the laws, that maybe our parliamentarians put them there, or we don't even have those laws. And that is why even private employers can decide when they want to pay you salary. They decide when and how much they want to pay you, because we don't have laws that are protecting the employees. And it is terrible. It's a very bad situation. And sometimes I wonder why people are celebrating somebody like Atwali, somebody who don't even know what he's doing. He spent the entire 2 years discussing about Kenyan politics and spending less time discussing the issues that are affecting the Kenyan workers. And the reason I'm bringing this up is either we don't have the laws, or it is either we don't care about the laws that we made that are supposed to protect the workers. And that is why I'm discussing, because I've had several conversations with so many people. I call them and we discuss, and somebody writes to me and say, "Hey, Zev, I've been working for 3 months. I've never received my pay." And I'm like, what kind of laws do we have in Kenya as far as the employment is concerned, as far as the contracts are concerned? Because from where I live or where I work, assuming every employee is paid on Friday, and that happens a lot in US. In most places, some employers will pay every other weekend, and some, even those who are salaried, are paid twice a month, meaning every 2 weeks or every other weekend, and some are paid weekly. So it depends on who is your employer and what you agreed with the employer when you accepted the job offer. So if you are supposed to get your check, actually all checks are paid. Those who are receiving like direct deposit, they get their pay. That's midnight of Friday. So like right now it's about midnight in US, in some parts of US, not everywhere in US. So by midnight, you should be able to go into your account and see the money has already been posted into your account. It is non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. It's not something that you will be like, "Oh, did I get paid?" And then who gave that those powers to your employer to decide when they want to pay you and when they cannot pay you. Because these are now things that we need our parliamentarians, our politicians. I do not know, like I said, I do not know if these laws are existing or they are not even there. And if they are not there, somebody should be bringing up these issues to the parliament and have a real conversation about the ethics in our employment. Because employers in Kenya are mistreating employees. And at the same time, we have just accepted that kind of situation. So they decide when to pay us and when not to pay us. But if there are rules, because like I said in America, by midnight of Friday, everybody who is getting paid will see their paycheck. It can delay only for 2 hours. And for some reason, if there is a technical error whereby you did not get paid, and you call them in the morning and say, hey, I didn't receive my direct deposit, they will be very, very disappointed. I mean, they will panic because they know what it involves if they don't pay you on time as required by the law. And that is why I was asking, like, do we have laws? Do we have laws that are governing the labor industry in Kenya? And why would people stay for 2 weeks without pay when they are hired or when they are doing contract? You did a job. I don't care where you get the money to pay me, but if you hired me and I signed a paper that I'm a full-time employee, I work for you. If I do my job for number of hours, even one day, you gotta pay me when it is due time for me to get the payment. But when we live in a country where nobody cares about the laws and everybody is doing whatever they want, nobody cares about anything, we're just there. What kind of a country where people can work and stay for 1 month, 2 months, and they are not our chalibwa? And reason, hakuna, no reason. Maybe a governor will say, oh, I haven't received any money from the central government. It's that, like I said, salary is non-negotiable. As a governor, you should do planning. You should have a plan. And it shouldn't be hand to mouth. Wherever it comes, it goes. If a governor is sitting in the office, and I know they collect a lot of money from the county level before even they go to the federal or the central government. They get a lot of money. So how comes you can't prioritize on things that you need to do until your employees go for a month or 2 months and they are not paid? It is not culture. I mean, it's a bad culture. And what I wanted to say is that number one thing, be it the government, be it a private sector, they should be able to plan their job. They need to be organized. Because if your employees are going for a month or 2 months or more than 2 weeks without getting their pay at the time they needed to be paid, then there is a problem with your leadership. And you can't push a problem and say, hey, central government hasn't paid me, and therefore I can't pay you guys money because I'm still waiting for the government to send me a check and then I pay you. So what are you doing? Why do we have you as a governor? Why don't we just have an accountant? Because it's your role to organize your people, you organize your job. You should be able to, and I want to tell you this. If I was a governor, the first thing you do is that you save money and talk to the bank that is in your location, so that you can make arrangement that people are paid on time. And when you are waiting for that money, money should be circulating. If I'm receiving this money this month, and then this money should be what I'm going to use for next month, and not I'm waiting for money to use this month. Anyway, I don't care how you plan your work, but I'm talking to somebody called Atwoli. Wherever you are listening to me, I know you are outdated and you can't even think. You can't even, I wonder what you learn when you go for these conferences discussing about the labor. Because the kind of labor ministry we have in Kenya isn't even a labor. I mean, it's not even something that we can discuss about, because if people are underpaid, people are going for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 1 month, 2 months without salary. And you have audacity to tell us you are traveling to Geneva, you are traveling to UK, you're going to some place. Who cares about your trips? But if you are not doing your job, you are not doing your job. And those are facts. And if Uhuru was your friend, and I suppose maybe you are looking for friendship with the current government, what are you using? What is the purpose of that friendship if you are not fighting for the people of Kenya? Like I said, I want you to listen to this guy here, because I just found it very interesting when they talk about the labor laws, especially in America. I want you to listen to this guy. I'm going to just put it right here so you can listen to him. 1 second.
Observed. Under the FLSA, non-exempt employees must be paid at least the minimum wage for all hours worked, and overtime at a rate of not less than time and a half the employee's regular rate of pay for any hours worked beyond 40 in a given work week. Employers who fail to pay non-exempt employees for all hours worked put themselves at risk of an employee complaint and a formal Department of Labor investigation. These investigations are becoming far more common, and they often widen in scope from the initial complaint to encompass all similarly situated employees at a given company. The fines, penalties, and legal fees can mount quickly. One way to avoid this situation is to understand which work-related activities performed by your employees count as work time. Making sure you pay employees properly will go a long way to avoiding violations. Let's take a look at a few common circumstances outlined by the U.S. Department of Labor and discuss whether and why they qualify as hours worked. First, there's waiting time. In some circumstances, waiting time must be paid and is counted toward hours worked, subject to overtime. The distinctions here are fine but important.
Well, yes. What I was trying to put across here is to understand that there are laws, and most of the laws that govern labor in US is that every employer knows exactly what it involves. If you miss to pay your employees on time, the number of hours they worked, overtime, even time they are, vacation time, those things are investigated. And when you are at fault, if you do something that is against the laws, you will be fined, utalipa fine. The next thing that you are supposed to do is to pay those, to compensate the employees. And that is what I'm saying. So, kitu imeharibu Kenya ni kwamba watu wana sign up contract na county. You sign up a contract, you build a dam, or you construct a road, and then when it comes to time ya kulipwa, umefanya kazi, and then they say there is no money. These are some of the things that are making people to corrupt the system. Because why can't we just follow what is written on the papers? If I did a good job and I'm supposed to be paid for doing the job that you gave me as a county or whatever, the central government, when it is the time for me to be paid, and then you are pushing me here and there and say, oh, director is not here today, so your check has not been signed, or so and so is not in here today. Come on. Am I supposed to be running, going office to office for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month? Are you insane? What is wrong? If I did the job, you should know your job that, hey, I'm traveling to Nairobi. What are some of the things that should be completed by this week? So before you take your journey and say, oh, ninatembea Nairobi, I don't care. That's your own shit. Hiyo ni kazi yako. So kama unatembea Nairobi, make sure that all the checks and all the work is organized. And you cannot go to Nairobi without leaving your responsibility to somebody else. Assign somebody. What is wrong with offices in Kenya whereby mtu anatoka tu anatembea, tunasikia ati alienda Mombasa, anaenda na machokbooks yote na kila kitu. So that you find people are wasting time sitting in offices waiting for so and so to come and sign the check. If we want a serious country, everybody should play a role. Kila mtu lazima afanye kazi. Na kufanya kazi, it means that wewe kama ukitoka kwenda Nairobi, you know for sure that this week, these are the things that I need to do. Kuna contracts that are expected to be completed this week and they will need their pay. So ukitoka kwenda Nairobi, kana kwamba kazi ni ya mama yako, kazi ni ya nyumba yako, unatembea na checkbook ama you didn't sign anything. That is abuse of office. And people like this should be fired. They should never be given a responsibility to do the job they are doing. Because this is killing Kenya. And it is encouraging corruption. It's because people are doing the job, a public office, and somebody is taking it like it's ni kama ni kazi yake. Literally, unafanya kama ni kazi yako. Kama if it is ni kazi ya public, yes, and you know that for sure. So kabla hujatoka kwa ofisi, uende kwa lunch, tell people that you are out for 30 minutes and you will be back. Na hii story ya watu kuingia ofisi, mtu mmoja anaingia kwa ofisi, anakaa for like 1 hour, and yet there are 20 people waiting for him. What kind of a culture is that? Because you came to serve the public. You didn't come to the office to attend to one person only or 2 people. Mara uko kwa simu spending 1 hour, and poor Kenyans are waiting outside there for 30 minutes, for 3 hours. Umalize simu yako. Na unaringa kana kwamba umefika kabisa ni ofisi yako. Your office, my friend, is not yours. That office belongs to the Kenyan people. And you must work to help the Kenyan people. That's what I'm saying. Na kufanyia kazi wa Kenya, usichukue kazi ya public as if it's your own job. If somebody is waiting there, then attend to that person. And if you feel your office is really important, then tell the people to make appointment, because that will be in order. And you are supposed to have a secretary who takes the appointments, so people will know when they are coming. Because we make appointments here in US. And if I made an appointment and I'm going to a certain office, I know for sure that my appointment, if they want to change it, they will communicate to me on time, at least 2 days, and say, hey. And I've never had a situation in US where my appointment is cancelled. I've never seen it. All the appointments are honored. Unless if there is, I've seen even in my workplace where I worked before. If you want a specific time to be out of that office, then you put an X, so that the secretary who is doing appointments will not put anybody there. Because there is already an X, and nobody will seek an appointment on that day when they know you will be out of office. And this is what I'm saying. This culture of people coming to your office every day looking for you to sign a check as if you are carrying the whole office, it has become yours. Do your job. Serve the Kenyan people. Nobody needs to be following you here and there. And if there is something you need to communicate, communicate. If there was a problem with the banking, tell people, hey, contractors, please, we were supposed to do payment this weekend. But unfortunately, I want to warn you, and I'm telling you on time, that we are expecting the payment would be available on this date. Do not waste people. Watu wanachukua magari wanaenda Nairobi, wanafika huko, nobody, no money, no signing. Wanarudi nyumbani. People spend a lot of money. I have a friend of, I don't want to mention anybody, but people have gone through a lot of problems, which is really bad. And these are some of the things that Atuoli should be doing. If you are fighting for the people, then do the right thing. If you are fighting to our people, get salary increment. That is your job, Mr. Atuoli. I don't care if you are going to Geneva. I don't care if you are boarding a first class or second class or whatever, or business. That's your own stuff. But work for the Kenyan people who hired you. Jambo hili nikimalizia, kuna jambo lingine, and this is about hourly payment, because people are really, they need to work at least more hours so that they can, utilize their time. What is the point of asking somebody to come to office 8 o'clock and then by 5 o'clock the office is closed? I like something that Kalonzo Musyoka once suggested, a 24-hour economy, which actually happens in America and some of the Western countries. So this way, if I come to office at 5 in the morning, then I need to leave maybe after 8 hours, and I can go and do another job elsewhere. Because if you are paying me very little, why waste my entire day in your workplace? This may not be applicable to every place, because offices, of course, maybe the best time to work would be around 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But other kind of jobs, we can split the time and say you're working 2 shifts. Split the shifts, because when you split it, you get more people to work. Anyway, there are so many things we can discuss, but I want to ask the government and the politicians and Mr. Atuoli, please make laws that will protect the Kenyan employees. Because people, they work so hard and they need to be paid on time. And it should be a rule. If you are stealing from your employees, if you are stealing their time, if you are stealing their time off, which is a vacation time, and if you are underpaying them, then there should be a law that will protect these people. And those people who are abusing their employees should be sued, fined, and compensate their employees for the time they have taken away from them. Anyway, thank you so much. This is Zeph. I was so furious because, well, I know a lot of things that are going on. I get so many messages from people who are experiencing a lot of problems, things to do with if I have a job, then I should be paid on time. Even if I'm doing a contract, because even contracts are abused nowadays. Somebody is on contract for 5 years. Don't we have laws where the laws suggest, hey, if you are on contract for 1 year, then you should be confirmed after 2 years? Why would I be in contract for 5 years? 10 years I've been working as a contractor. I think that is abusing people. Because you are taking a shortcut. If you are renewing my contract after every 5 years, then what is the purpose of me being in contract? Just hire me. Hire these people. And there should be a regulation where it regulates you cannot fire somebody and get another contractor, because that would be cheating. Because you want to avoid certain kind of things. And that is why you are asking people, hey, you renew every 5 years. So when you renew, then you are not bound by the law. But this is what I'm saying. If you are supposed to be working for 2 years, then the 3rd year, you should be hired. But if your employer fired you and hire another contractor, then that employer should be sued, because it's cheating. It's cheating the system. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. This is Zeph.